Alrighty, guys, welcome back. This this is the this is funny. This is a third take of this today. Let me close this. I'll get to that in a second. This is a third take of this video. Um, Life just doesn't want this. The universe doesn't want this video to get out. Apparently, I'm worried that YouTube's going to take this video down because they've done it before. Not on my channel, or this channel wasn't even started yet. I talked about this exact same topic on another channel, someone else's, and it was taken down within 3 hours. And this is the point on this. So you guys can see right here. The first video, I didn't have sound. Someone said, there's no sound on, on the same. Everyone started saying the same and everything, and I was like, ah. And and you can see right there, my videos aren't scripted. So this won't be exactly like the first one. The first one I liked, but you know, because I liked it, it probably would have got not taken down. So I'll see if I can notch this one down even more, because I want you guys to hear this. This is really important for all you parents out there. Um, you need to listen to this video. I know there's a lot of people that aren't, because my channel's, well, in the whole scheme of things, my channel's really not that popular. And so there's only going to be even still a small few that watch this, but as many people as possible need to watch this video if it stays up long enough. Because the powers that be don't want this video up. But let's start out softly first, okay? Let's start out slow. See if we can build our way up. I get DMs a lot because I started out as an ex-hacker. Well, not, I was an ex-hacker. I was a hacker. I'm stuck on it because I'm X. I'm 62, so everything is X in my life right now. But I was an illegal hacker, and I've done enough things to raise the alarm of the authorities, government mainly, not really local police or anything. The stuff that I was doing went right over the heads of local authorities. They didn't even know who I was. Well, they knew who I was, but that was from previous. I have a felony, you all know. They knew me. I was on file. I was on record and everything for that stuff. That was before I got into computers. You know the stuff that I was doing with computers. In the late '90s and on. Yeah, they didn't know none of that. They went right over them, and the government picked that up. But so I got a history on not just legal hacking. I have a whole 62-year history, and that's mentioned in my other videos. My first, how many is this now? 17th videos. My other first 10 videos, that pretty much all of that is covered for if you're interested. Um, but yeah, so people want to hear about that. They're here for security, they're here for hacking and stuff, and they're like, dude, they're like, you're like the only real hacker, real illegal hacker that has been out there in the networks, in doing the actual real shit, that has a YouTube channel. Everybody else that's doing security on YouTube is ethical, and teaching ethical, and everything like that, and they want me to show them stuff, but that's the catch-22. What can I show you that won't get taken down? We're in a world, YouTube is very strict in its policies, and I'm going to try to show you guys this because it's very important. And there's not a person at YouTube that's going to watch this video because it's the algorithm that catches it and takes it down. because an actual human being at YouTube is not going to react within 3 hours to a channel that's not wasn't really that popular at the time. He was trying to grow his channel, and I guess he wanted to use me to do it. It seemed to work on my channel here. So, um, but a regular human is not going to act like, if it was a big channel with, millions, like that, they might have a person, that monitors the uploads of that, because there's millions of people, whatever. If he's got a million followers or more, there's millions of people that can see his video in a very short amount of time. That's what's going to happen to mine, the channel that I want, or mine here. So, it's only the algorithm that will catch this video and knock it down like the other one. A live person ain't going to see this. But this regards that topic, and it's going to lead, like all my videos, it's going to lead into other topics on reasons why and all that stuff. This is the stuff that the powers that be, let's say, don't want getting out, because this is going to lead into human trafficking and sex trafficking, and which is a big specialty of mine in my hacking. I volunteer for trace labs and finding missing people. I volunteer my OS and intel and knowledge and everything into helping them out. And they have a specific VM. They've got a VM that is an OS and VM, kind of like Remnix is a malware VM that's strictly for malware researching and everything. They've got their own VM that is an OS int VM that's strictly for OS intelligence. And that's what I use when I know that I'm going to do a lot of OS int and everything. I don't use Kali. I use their VM. When I'm reverse engineering malware and working with malware, I use Remnix. And when I'm doing wide open, when it's just I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to explore and find out on the dark web or wherever. Then I use Kali. But now, for now, since I got this channel and everything, so you guys can see. Normally, I would use Flax, my own personal operating system. But now I'm into Kali, and that's for you guys. And it's still raw, a raw install. And I'm installing a lot of tools that it didn't come with that I use. Um, so yeah, that's my thing on Kali. Kali Linux it has the popular tools, but when it gets down to actual work in the work environment and doing what hackers do, what security analysts and network, they don't use a lot of those tools. Yeah, there's some, very few. Ghidra they use. Burp Suite obviously they use, but there's so many tools that are in Kali Linux that are unnecessary because there's better tools that do the exact same thing. But that's I'm not in charge of Kali Linux, so that's a mute point. But that's the whole topic on what can I actually talk about. So let's get into that and why I can't do anything hacker related or show you guys actual stuff that hackers do. And this is one of the areas. And this didn't get into the public last time. Hopefully I can, and it didn't get into my just now because I didn't turn the sound on. So I didn't know if that video would have been up, for too long or not. So this is the next try. This is a next try to see if this video will stay up for people to see it. Um, so how could that possibly relate to human trafficking? Well, I'm not going to get into my beliefs on who I think is behind human trafficking. And before I go any further, guys, I'm not going to cover this topic again ever. So if this video gets taken down and you've listened this far to it, this is important. This video will be up. I will put this video on my own personal website. It's not even officially started yet. It's a blank uh, WordPress. You know, I haven't even got to yet, but it's got its own domain. It's going to be a hacker blog. It's up. It's ready. I just haven't got to it. That's all there is to it. But I will put this video up over there for everybody to see. So one way or the other, if you're interested in this whole video, it's going to be close to an hour or more. So I'm telling you that right off the bat. The video will be up. I'll upload it to my Discord channel. I can do. I'm the admin here. I can do that. I don't know if maybe I'll make a channel of just videos that I upload here that get taken down. Now, will Discord take it down? I don't know. We'll see. I haven't had anything taken down on Discord, but I haven't really posted anything on Discord. Other than it automatically posts my YouTube videos in the announcement channel. But other than that, we'll see. But it doesn't matter whoever takes it down. If it gets taken down anywhere, it will be up. My hosting provider will allow me to put it up. So it will be up on my site. But that's not for all you people that are watching this now. For those of you that watch this video in the first, hours of it being up, because it won't, if it's going to be taken down, it won't last more than hours. I doubt it'll go past 3 to 5 hours, I'll say, depending on how busy YouTube's algorithm is today. It's a Friday, so. But let's get to the nitty gritty here. I've shouted enough. I got it right here, guys. You all know from my Discord, I'm Pepsi. Right here is a Pepsi. And yes, it's a straw because I got no teeth. Again, I talked about that. Watch the first one. I don't know which one it was in. One of the first 10 videos. If you guys want to know my whole life story, well, most of it. There's just so much of it. But, the important parts of you be interested. It's somewhere in the first 10 videos. So that's all I can tell you. It's not scripted, so I don't know where exactly it is. If I had scripts, I could search for it and tell you. But as far as this goes, let's see how the topic of why don't you put up what hackers do on YouTube so we can all learn, and let's go from there on why I don't do it and why YouTube will take it down, and why basically I gotta be what I criticize. All those other YouTube security channels, you know, scratch John Hammond, because and it's not that I like John Hammond or anything, that I always stand up for him or anything, but he's just showing capture the flags, for the main part, and he shows some reverse engineering, but it's mild stuff. Me as a hacker, I would be showing you reverse engineering and stuff and things about it that the industry, let's say, probably doesn't want out there. And it would only come from someone like me because I'm not employed. I don't answer to nobody. Nobody can fire me or threaten to fire me. I'm an totally independent security researcher. I can research anything I want because it's just me. And you ask yourself, how would I get paid? I'm going to show you right now. Information. My research gathers information. Now, how valuable is that information? That depends. What's the context of the information? Now, we're getting into dark web stuff here, but stay with me, people. It might not be worth nothing. It might be worth $20. But, if It's, information that's, on particular topics concerning certain things or certain people. And depending on the extent of that information and stuff, we could be getting into seven figures here. And you know where you're not going to get a seven-figure payoff? In a bug bounty program. You'll be lucky if you get a five-figure payoff. Or no, extremely lucky if you get. You'll be lucky if you even get over a four-figure payoff. More than likely, you're going to get a lower three-figure payoff, or maybe some gifts and prizes, and congratulations, you did good. Yeah, now you know how I feel about bug bounties. In a nutshell. Um, but yeah, it's information. Information is worth more than money, and society proves it every day. Why did my video get taken down on this exact same topic we're going to go over here? It wasn't because I was showing anything. I wasn't even in a VM. I wasn't even in a terminal. I wasn't, it was talking just like this. It was information. Pure, plain and simple. That's why it got taken down. So even the information itself, what I was describing and explaining to people, was more valuable than me actually doing any hacking in a VM. I mean, literally, if I was to have a video of me hacking a company on a YouTube channel, there YouTube was telling you, no, that's not what was going on. You were just talking. You were just explaining something. That's all. But that had more value than that, because we would have never saw that. That would have got taken down if we did see it. Yes, but the information was first. The pure, raw explanation of how to do it. Even though you didn't show anything, you explained to people what you were doing, what it meant, and how you did it. And just the explanation itself was that valuable that we got to take it down. And that's the day and age that we're in 2024. You know, why is there freedom foundations and privacy foundations and all these other things trying to protect privacy and trying to protect freedom and freedom of speech and everything? This is why. Because certain powers that be want to control your speech on what you can say and what you cannot say. Because the bottom line of it is there is value in it. And again, what is that value? Well, what are you talking about? That's the big question mark. So with that, let's get over it. And like I said, uh, Jack Jack the Shop was in here. He's on Simple Chest. And, I did this in the first video. I'm like, there's three videos. I mean, what's everybody doing on activity here? I mean, is there any Fortnite going on here? There's Fallout. Okay, that's cool. No Fortnite, but then I seen he was playing not Simple Chess. He was playing Basic Chess or something. I think he is, but now he's on Simple Chess. But I'm like, oh, I'm at Jack in the Shop. um, Speaking on this topic, I I'm a chess player. Obviously, I'm a smart person. Um, so yes, I love chess. I'm a good chess player, and so I figured I'd sign up on chess.com and join some groups, play over there. Well, things, stories led to, chatting on the forum boards and everything. And I started a thread when I joined that literally blew up. It blew, it blew up all over chess.com. Now, since then, you're late, kind of like this cicada puzzle. If you go there, you'll find remnants. The main forum board that I started when I first joined, I said this. not, I'm a good chess player. I play, part chess. I play, chess, with friends, family, local people, and everything. So I didn't know the whole chess scene. I didn't know, there was this whole scene on YouTube and grandmasters and international masters and all this other stuff. I didn't know all of that. That's not I wasn't into competition chess. But like I said, I'm arrogant. I'm a hack again. That's not saying anything bad toward me or anything. I'm a hacker. All hackers are arrogant. Every one of them. That's what makes them hackers. Um, so I joined up, and then I found out about this Grandmaster thing. Oh, it's so difficult to attain, and you can't, like that. I'm like, this. This is what happened, guys. You'll understand for you chess players, Jack in the Shop. I know you're watching this. You'll understand the significance of this when I tell you, because I didn't know. It's kind of like a newbie getting into the security industry. You know, they'll say crazy shit because they don't know. They don't know no better. And I didn't know no better because, like I said, I wasn't into competition chess. I was undefeated in my, most of my chess playing. Yeah, there were some people that beat me, but we didn't play that much because they had a life. I didn't have a life, but I was doing stuff. It didn't amount to nothing, but I was doing stuff. But yeah, they were as good as me. So yeah, I'd lose a little bit to them. It was like, 50-50 kind of like. But for the most part, I hardly ever lost. And so I went in on chess.com, which is the biggest chess site there is out there. That was the first problem of mine. Um, and I made a post. Well, you know what? Do I want to digress? Well, come on. You guys know I digress, right? You guys know I do. And there's some people that are probably thinking, he's so full of shit. This is another bullshit story of his. Hackers don't listen, guys. Hackers aren't like you, normal society people. We don't bullshit. We're real, down to earth people, and what we say is real. And we don't we don't issue. I'm going to sound like anonymous here. We don't issue idle threats. If we threaten, then something's going to come of it. So I will show you. For the digression, even over here, this is my name. I'm 62 Polymath. And for those who don't know, a polymath is a person that knows a vast majority of topics. Um, I just I just cleared out this yesterday, so I don't have no messages. Let me see. Is my where's my blog taken down? No, my blog is still up. Okay. It's been so long since I've been here. Um, where's the forum boards? Is that in? Oh, I'm looking for the forums. Wow, has their site really changed this much? It's not even navigatable. Oh, there we are. Social. Oh, social. Yeah, dummy. Um, is there a search here? See, I'm acting like I'm a newbie here. Um, GM in 6 months. My topics. Okay, maybe that's it. Yeah, right there. See, only 240 posts. This has been cut down a little. But I came on here and I said that, you know, and there's my picture, GM within 6 months. I said, guys, this is chess. Come on. It's not that difficult. Yes, there's good players, but I mean, if there's this GM title that you guys spend a lifetime trying to achieve or get or something, It can't be that hard. You know, yes, okay, I get it. You have to go through the top people. I understand, but okay, I'm willing to do that. Let's, as they say, let's do this. And chest is controlled. I should have known better, like everything else in life. They want to get as much money from you as possible to get a title or a piece of paper with your name on it saying that you're this. So they control the tournament. They control the points that you have to get to achieve that title. And they control how long it will take you to get that title because you have to compete in sanctioned events to even qualify for points that apply to that title. And these events don't happen often, which kills my 6 month thing right there. So I thought all I had to do is just come onto the scene and just start playing the top people, and and as soon as one of them beats you, you're done. Look, you're not going to make it. You can't even pat. I get that. But I had the mentality I wasn't going to lose. I could go against these people. I could play them, and I would still play them right now today. And I did this, earlier, like on the 10th page or whatever it is. How many pages are there in this whole thing? Does it tell you how many total? Let's just go to last. Here's the last, 243 posts in total. Somewhere in there, I said it. Look, I'll play any GM. I put the challenge out there, and not one took me up on it because what I'm going to get in over here with flight radar and wealthy people and billionaires specifically is they're a group. They hang together. GMs only want to play other masters, whether you're a GM, an IM, or whatever, any other master rankings. Um, they don't want to play, if I have to say so, the lower group. You know, we don't want to play you people. We want to play people that have proven them. We've spent a lot of money to get here. We want to play other people that have spent this money too. We don't want to play someone, that wants to get in this group that hasn't paid the dues, so to speak. You don't belong in this group. Well, that means that has nothing to do with chest. That means your group is all about money, and chest is just a side thing. But again, you know, you guys can go search the forums. It took me long enough to find it, and it's my damn post. But there's that. But yeah, Jack in the Shop, I'm into chest. You know, I'm not a bad player, so I like that you're a chess player. Maybe we could maybe we can get on chess.com. Let me know if you got an account. Maybe we can get on. I'll challenge you, or you challenge me. You know my name already. Send me a challenge, and we'll play a game. Um, but if I have time, I'm sure you don't have much time, and well, no, you're playing now. I can't remember the last time I played. I've been off that site for a year now, I think. I do post on that thread once in a while, just to keep it going, bait it once, if you will, So, but let's get into that. Oh, my session's expired. When they start that? Oh, you know what? I'm not logged in. I have a gold account on here that gives me, full access, to all the filters, widgets, and everything, and that's why I'm not logged in. So that's why I timed out. But anyway, this is where it all started. When I first got into malware and everything, yeah, um, I got into billionaires. They fascinated me, and not just any billionaire like Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is a billionaire. She doesn't fascinate me though. She's only a one billionaire, and there's many of them. So And you hope, and yes, $1 billion is a lot. I get it. I understand. But no, in the wealthy crowd, you're poor. If all you got is 1.3 billion, which is what her net worth is now, you're to the real wealthy people, you're nothing. You're still in the ghetto as far as they're concerned. And like the chess people, if you're not in a master group, if you don't have a master title of some kind, GM, IM, whatever it is, you know, we don't want to, we don't care about, we don't want to, don't challenge us or want to say you want to play us. It's not going to happen. And it's the same thing with billionaires. Billion money is divided into levels. I think I've covered this on a different video. It starts at 30 million. That is the lowest. And why is that the lowest? And again, trust me, guys. You want to know some hacker stuff? Well, this is my hacker point. Every hacker has his specialty field that he's in, that he does, and mine is wealthy people, extremely wealthy people. My target audience is people that are worth 10 billion or more. That's a small group, which I like because I can invest a lot more time in a small group versus a really large one. But that's my target. But I still study everybody else because it's all a part of wealth. It's all a part of business. And again, that's still my area because my area is the dark web. My area is APT, which is foreign nation states, which includes Russia and China. And who do Russia and China want to target? They want to target large industries. And who owns and runs large industries? Very wealthy people. So it all comes down to the high profile, wealthy individual that has the money. And you guys, I said also in another video that I'm starting my own company. And a lot of the people that I will take will probably come out of my teaching. And my labs and everything on my website and everything because I know them. I know their capabilities. I've taught them. I've seen them grow. I've seen them come up and everything, and I personally know what they can do. But that's my target audience for my own security company that I'll be doing. PEP. I've explained this in another video. One of the first 10 videos, if you want to know what that is. But this is why I follow everyone, and $30 million is the beginning of it because that's the point where banks start classifying you as net worth. Below that, oh, your balance sheet says that you're worth 175 billion. I mean 175 million and some odd cents, or we did a back financial check on you and everything, and you don't qualify for that or whatever. Your net worth is only whatever, $20 million. You got a net worth of $20 million, whatever. But when you hit 30 million, you're still at net worth, but it puts you into the beginning of another group. And this is going to break down into a lot of different groups as time goes on. The highest of the groups, it basically means that if you want to talk to a dignitary or a nation leader, and again, this is not the president. The president doesn't fit anywhere in this conversation at all. The president is a figure. This means that you can basically pick up the phone and call that person's people because you got to call their people. You're not going to get a direct link unless you are really friends. You got once a week or whatever. You guys meet up on the golf course. If you're that close, then yeah, you got person. But normally, if you're something's come up and I need to I'm going over there next week. To wherever Finland, Norway, or what and everything. And I needed to talk to you. So you can pick up the phone, tell him to give me a call back, it's important. And within an hour, he personally will call you back. That's at the echelon level, up at the top. And the reason that is because that person, they've got charities, they've got trusts, they got foundations, they've got things that they want you to donate to. And there's a reason, again, this is getting into a whole other category, of evading taxes and doing other stuff and, stuff off the books, basically, and everything. Um, but yeah, that's a whole other area that I'm not going to get into. But yeah, there's a reason they want that donation money into their trust and there are charities and there's stuff like that and everything, and it has nothing to do with the charity. I don't care if it's on cancer. I don't care what it's on. It's well, I'm not going to say what I think it is. What I was going to say, but yeah, that's just another area. Um, and that's why they will call you right back because hey, one favor deserves another favor. Okay, you want me to help you out? Well, you got to scratch my back also. So, and welcome to business. This is how business works, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Life isn't, all ethical people. Life actually, ethical just doesn't fit into life. And when you get down to how the whole world is run, that's the public. That's the public persona they want you to go to church every Sunday. They want you to praise God and they want you to do this and that and the other and everything. They want you to be law abiding citizens and everything. But in actuality, it's a free for all. It's in the and deep down, it's like a Mad Max world. You know, deep in the lower you, but Mad Max was on the surface, and we're not quite there yet. But the world's getting there. It's 2024. I'm going to say by 2030, the world will be there, if not sooner, just because the way the world's going. Now, you see, already the second video is off to probably a worse one than the first one was. But, you know, and what happens is this I do remember. So I will talk this part about the whole point of why you guys need to watch this video and still watch it because I'm only this is the beginning of this part. What can I talk about and what I can't? Well, this is going to get into that area, and this might be the reason why it gets deleted or not. Because I'm going to try to stop and educate some parents here. I'm going to start out by saying that ethical and good natured thing. This video is for good, and this is why this video is put up right here. What I'm going to start now. Let's say I'm looking at these planes. Now, maybe take one diversion. I do have another website that is on X-Plane. An X-Plane is a flight sim. And I got into that, and I do know how to fly. I don't have a pilot license because I don't need one. I'm not really actually going to fly or buy a plane or anything, but I wanted to know how to fly in case I ever was in a plane that crashed and I happened to survive. Well, I would only have done that probably if I knew how to fly the plane. If it didn't get damaged, it wasn't an actual crash or something. If the pilots passed out or whatever. If the plane was still flyable, in other words, something happened to it's a single pilot or whatever. If something happened to the pilots and the plane was still perfectly good, but we were going to die because nobody else in the plane knows how to fly, and they're I don't know passed out or had a heart attack or who knows whatever. I wanted to be able to get into the cockpit and everything and know how to get us on the ground. And that's all I wanted. That's a hacker mentality. We cover all problems. We try to figure out problems before they become problems. And so that's why I got into X-Plane, because X-Plane is a realistic flight simulator. As realistic as it could be. Its engine and everything. And I also make planes to sell for flight sim. And I do that in Blender. Blender 3D, it's a free 3. It's the same program I make my porn videos in. But you gotta make them realistic. You gotta make them at scale and everything. They gotta be real because they're going to be in a flight sim. Everything's got to be to proper scale because the whole flight sim is at scale. The airport and the taxiing around and everything and all that. So it's got to be at scale. And then you're going to get into C because that's what the gauges are programmed in. Your whole cockpit, your switches, all that stuff and everything. That's all done in C++. And you got to do all that. You got to design your gauges and graphics, and everything. And you got to animate them to work with the internal programming of the sim. The flight sim will send, speed data or whatever it is the gauge monitors. It will send that in a variable, and your variable has to grab that information and then move the needle to that point and everything. It's simple programming. It's developing. Um, so that's why I got into that because I learned more about aircraft manufacturing, the dynamics and aerodynamics and everything of aircraft, weight distribution and all that stuff and everything. But now let's get on to the topic because that turned me on to this and my billionaires. I seen that see this is in A, and that's a private jet. I can tell by looking at it. And you click on it and nothing available. Nothing available. NA. Everything's it's a Gulfstream G500, which is normal. That is a long range private jet. Does it belong to someone? Or does it belong to a leasing company, that rents the planes out and someone is, paying rent, which is what a lot of rich people do now because of the whole Elon Musk thing, the 14-year-old kid that was tracking Elon Musk on this exact same program and everything and posting it on Twitter where he was all the time. Well, Elon Musk didn't like that because there's business dealings that he has going on and he doesn't want people to know where he's at. And see, I pay for my so all this stuff is filled out for me. I get all the information and the from and to where it's going. See, this is what I get. Let's look at this plane right here. This is, it's going from Lisbon to Miami. You can see the route that it's taken. And, it will tell you it's an Airbus. Okay, we'll give you that, and we'll tell you the registration, but it still doesn't tell you a lot of stuff. And you even get to see the arrival time. Now, that's still important information. What if I knew that a particular person was on this plane and I needed to meet them and I wanted to know if it was late or not? Well, that's valid information. I can go to this website, I can look that up, and I'm like, okay, yeah, they're going to show up on time, so let's go to the waiting area or the gate that they're going to land, and let's wait for them, and we won't have to spend hours sitting there waiting, not knowing, or if it is late, we know about what time it should show up and everything. But that's the good part. Information is not prejudice. Information can be taken for the good, or it can be taken for the bad. Wonder if someone that wanted to kidnap you or something knew that you was on that plane and also wanted to know what time you were going to land and be updated on whether you're late and how late you are. Are you an hour late? Are you 2 hours late? Everything. Because then now they're not wasting time sitting around in an airport where they could be on multiple cameras, that law enforcement could, look back on later on. They want to be in the airport, to catch you if they want, if that's what their goal is and everything. They want to be there as shortest amount of time as they possibly can. They want to be there just enough, to do the task and get out because they know cameras are everywhere. That's the bad part of information. See, information, it just tells people I'm here. It says, hey, I'm here. Anyone that wants to know this information, I have it. Take it as you will. I don't, that's not my problem. We're 2 hours late. That's all I can tell you. How you want to, however you want to use that, that's up to you. Um, and that's all that information is. It doesn't care how it gets used. It doesn't care who uses it. Um, it's just letting you know that I'm here to be used. I'm telling you this information, and it's up. And that's why when you click on a private plane, that's why they tell you the least amount of information that they possibly can, because information is money. If you want that, like this program here, if I want that information, I got to log into my account, and I can get that whole information filled out about that plane. It won't tell me who's rented it. If it is a rental, it won't tell me who's rented it. But, oh, I don't have my VM open. I did have my VM. But if you remember, the number one thing on Kali Linux is information gathering. And there's a tool in that also, among many others, that is OSINT tool. And that's why it's in that category, because forget all the other categories. There's 13 categories there. Forget all the other 13 until yeah, you need to know them and everything. And that comes down to the actual work, and everything. But how long a job will take you depends on how much time you invest in that information gathering. Ideally, you want about 75 to 80% of your total time on a project invested in that information gathering, as much as you possibly can. And when you're sick of knowing about that person or that company or that location or that country or whatever it is, when you're sick of reading about it and hearing about it, spend another 30 hours going even deeper, because that's the determination and drive that you need to do this stuff. Really, really at a high level, at a GOAT level. That's the drive and determination you need to be really, really good at this. And this is why I like Dubai. I'm going to use that as an example. And let's say I'm looking around here one day, I click on a thing and I see something. I see something that I recognize. Only I would recognize it, that I know of, because I know this. I know this is my space. I'm rich people and stuff. But I do see a billionaire's plane that I do follow, because there are billionaires that don't hide themselves. They fly their plane and they're like, fuck it, you know, who cares? Or they just don't know. And those are my hopefully potential clients in the future. And maybe they might listen to one of my videos and say, hey, we need to talk to this guy. I listen to his videos and I like them, but I don't like them, and it would be for this reason. And so I follow it, just like I'm following this one that I clicked on here. We can see it, and I can follow this all the way to where it goes. And and when you pay for a service, you get also a history down here in this bottom tab. One of your options that you have is a flight history, and I can write the registration down right here of this plane, and I could put that registration number, and I get a whole listing of the flights that plane has done for the past 3 months, 6 months, or up to 5 years, 3 years, 2 years. It depends on the level of money that you buy, your purchase level that you buy, on how much information that you get. But you can go back in history and see where this plane has been, and you know right there, playback. You can go back in history, then you can play it. You can play the route and everything. And I'm gonna get into that. That does get into pilot talk, and you have to understand routes and all that stuff. And I do know, like I said, I know how to fly a plane. I can do all the computers. I can input. I can change a route. If we're running low on fuel or something, I know how to tell. I know the fuel gauges and how to read them and everything. And I'm like, okay, we must have a hole in one of the fuel tanks or something, because we're losing fuel faster than we should be. And this comes from my experience just in the flight sim, because it's maybe not 100% accurate, deadly accurate, with vertigo and all that stuff, but it's accurate enough to know what normal operation procedure should be. And so once I realized, that and everything, I'm like, we need a landing, airport, a plane, place we can land on as soon as possible. And I can change the computer to do that. I can find on the radar and everything. I can find one that's within range to us. I know how to figure it all out and everything. I know how to talk to air traffic control. They don't have to coach me like on the movies, and everything. I know how to speak their language and talk to them and let them know and stuff and everything. And that's all I want. I didn't. It's not for a pilot license or anything. It's just for my own safety in case the 1% of 1% of a 1% chance that I might possibly could end up in that situation. I want to be prepared for it. And see, this is what hackers do. This is hackers. They want to prepare for that 1% of 1% of 1% scenario. They don't want to be surprised in anything. You can say they make perfect spies because a spy is interested in the same exact shit. They don't want to be surprised on anything either. But and so anyway, I follow him and I see that he's going over to Dubai, UAE. Now I know because of my reconnaissance and my back intel and everything and all my researching that I know about it. I know everything about it. I know his businesses. I know everything about him. And he lands over there, and because of what I know about him, I know this is the beginning of a possible investment that he's thinking of because he's never been over to Dubai before. He's never even been over to the Middle East. This is a scenario that I'm making up. How I would know these things and how I do. And so that tells me what is going on. And for all you guys watching, you should watch Wall Street, you know, because you might think it's about money and investments and this guy screwing that guy over, and the whole family thing that they got going on, and yeah, for moviegoers and movie enthusiasts, yeah, that's it. But no, the whole thing, the underlying message of the movie that no one gets really is Gecko. It's all about information. That whole movie is about information and the value of information. And he even says it in the movie when he gets pissed off at I don't even know what the guy's fucking actor's name is. um, let me ask the expert here. I have to go over my head. Who's that? Who's the kid in Wall Street? Yeah, Charlie Sheen. Where Michael Douglas, who plays Gecko, um, I know I remember his name because that's my guy. if I was if I was in real life, if I was to be one of these two people, I would be Michael Douglas or Gecko in the scene. But where he even pissed off at him and everything, and he slaps him, in the park. This is a spoiler, but you know, but anyway, he slaps him in the park, and he's like, you cockroach. I brought you up. I taught you the value of information and what it means. That is the key to the whole fucking hour-long movie. That right there, what he said. I taught you about information and the value of it. And you're too stupid to know. You don't get it. And, to him personally, it's not about the money. That was the most frustrating part to his character, to Gecko, was that, you know, he didn't get it. He was too into the money. He thought it was all about money and cars and having a hot wife, and he's like, you idiot. you know, you're so fucking naive. You don't understand the big picture of things. And this is what I'm talking about. And I'm going to explain the big picture, if you will, if YouTube doesn't take this down. He goes over there, and now this is from my perspective, but I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna flip it to you. I'm gonna flip it on you. Um, let's take it to where certain people also follow this and other stuff going on because they're into OSINT also, but in a different light. These people are human traffickers or sex traffickers, sex extortionists to a degree, but they bring on hackers. They bring on people that are really really good also to do this for them because they need this information. And so someone might notice for whatever reason, that, like I said, they're not as knowledgeable about this guy, but they do know enough because they do research it. They're like, oh, flight radar. And let me show you guys. Oh, do I want to do this? I really hate showing stuff. This, this video is already sketchy as it is. If I don't lose my spot, what I'm talking about there, guys, I might lose what I was talking about right there. So, but let's go with flight radar 24. And I'm just making this up as I go. Wealthy. Let's just say Intex billionaire. Um, I'm going to go around 10, let's say. Let's see what that returns. We got more than I thought. What did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But you see, just in that right there, out of the billions and billions of pages that I got on Google that's indexed, if I didn't use Google Dorks and stuff, and this is very basic, guys. This is extremely basic. I could get so more advanced in this, and I could fill this up, and I could put this into like 3 lines. And all told, if I really wanted to get like one topic, one specific site or something, and you'll come along, and when you're digging that far down, there will be times you won't find any pages at all. Imagine that. You search as vast as Google is. Oh, our dog wants to bark now. As vast as Google is, you do a search and you really. I searched on this whole thing here, and it's so pinpointed that I can't even find one website out of the billions that Google has indexed. That's getting fine. That's drilling down if you want, and you can do that. But look what we got here. We got private owned. We got billionaires. A billionaire again. Master skills that will make you a billionaire. Okay, so you can see it's focusing on billionaire. Musk bans private plane tracking. Elon jet on Twitter. That was December 15th, 2022. Twitter has suspended an account dedicated to tracking Elon Musk. And see, guys, I told you that. And Elon Musk actually tried bribing the kid. He tried telling the kid, I'll pay you, 100,000 or whatever, and the kid still said no. So what did Elon Musk do? He's got so much fucking money. He goes, fuck it then. I'll buy Twitter. And he buys Twitter just to ban the kid. Now, he hasn't said that publicly, but, you know, I know from sources. Okay. Roman Abramovich. Uh, if you're into wealthy people, that name should ring a bell to you. Look at here on Forbes. Russian Ukraine updates. Leaders of Poland and Czech. Interesting stuff to dig into, right? Bangladesh nation, the 10 richest people or the 10 richest billionaire people in the world with, whatever, to appear on Flight Radar 24, which is one of our keywords. But yeah, the personal, we timed out again. I should log in, but who knows? But um, So one of these people that they hire, might be notice cut out. I'm going to cut out all of the stuff that I shouldn't talk about. But anyway, he's found out. Okay, this is an important person. He's going. Okay, he lands in Dubai. Why is he landing in Dubai? Does he have a home there? Does he live there? Like I said, he doesn't know the stuff. He doesn't know that this is his very first time there. But he stood. A couple of things. Another diversion here, guys. I noticed my black shirt. I got like three shirts. I got three colors. I got black. I got a dark blue. I don't know. Is this black or blue? This could be the dark blue, and I got red, and I got a light blue and a gray, and those are the only shirts that I have because, like I said, I don't leave this spot. I'm either here or I'm in bed. I'm nowhere else really. But and you'll also see me wiping my chin. And that's because, like I said before, before I got half my teeth, you know, and so sometimes like spit gets out and I got to wipe it off. And welcome to being an old man. You know, not every old man, but this is my life. This is my 62 years and how I lived it. And because of my choices, being getting in drugs and all the other stuff that I got to apparently, I lasted 62 years, but apparently not all of my teeth did. So, um, with that, he notices this, and so he starts digging more and everything. And like I said, leave out a bunch of stuff and everything. He's like, okay, this guy's in Dubai for business. So he's like, what kind of business is this guy in, and what could be going on here, and how could this benefit me? So he gets into his OS intelligence and he starts researching the guy. Now, in researching, he comes across that this guy, obviously, he does. Well, might not, but again, you, but you haven't found out any information yet. But now you're into researching, you're digging into him, you're doxing him, if you will, and you find out that he's got a daughter, and you're like, oh, this is interesting. And so I wonder if she's on social media. So he puts in, into his tools and stuff. He does some digging, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, the whole shebang. They don't cut out, TikTok, they have tools, and they use all of their tools and everything because they want to know everything they can about everything, when they're researching something. And so if this girl is anywhere on any social media platform, even porn, yes, there's certain tools that include porn too, and OnlyFans and Pornhub, and so if she's anywhere or any person, whatever it is, if you're anywhere out there in social media, they'll find it, even in the dark web. And we'll get to the dark web in a minute. So he finds out he's got a daughter, and he's like, oh my God, this daughter loves social media. She practically lives on it. And we've got selfies here of her showing us her neighborhood. She's doing selfies in the front lawn, in the backyard, in the house, in the living room, in the bedroom, in the bathroom. I mean, I we practically can lay out the whole house from her social media account. We can take all her pictures, and you can take her videos, which are pictures, 24 a second, or whatever setting you choose, but they're pictures. But you can take her pictures and everything, and you can string them to, you can sew them together. Some that fit, they don't have to be perfect, but you're like, okay, I see a door over here, and she's at the couch, but over here she's okay. There's the couch. The couch is still there, but now there's a big pane window over here. So okay. If I'm sitting at the couch, I have the front door over here, and I got the pane door, a big pane window over here. there's the couch is only 10 feet, 15 feet, whatever, so there's not much room in here. So what is this, a painting or just a plain wall? But you can, if I want to get into Blender, I can make this wall. I can put that window in there. I could put a couch there, and I could put her, and I can start to build out literally the house that she's living in 3D. First problem, that right there. Too much shit on social media. And I don't care. I understand it's your kid. And if you try to, she's going to do this, freedom, this and that and the other and blah, blah, blah. We should be allowed to do, no, you should not. This is not a fair world. You want to believe that everybody should treat you the way that you want to be treated. And young lady, that is not how the world works. There's bad people in the world. And one of them has latched onto you right now, and he knows the layout of your house. And before the day is out, he's going to know where you live, and he's going to know all about your dad, because that's what brought him here in the first place. And now they got targets. They've got the dad, a possible extortion target, a possible person to get money out of. He does have money. They got a daughter now that, could go into human trafficking or go into sex trafficking or sex exploitation. And we could just keep going. Eventually we're going to get to the wife and a bunch of other stuff. And I'm going to end it right there without going any further. But they could go, further into his business practices, his company. They could do phishing. They could start a phishing email to target his company and stuff, and maybe his secretary, and to get more. They want to get big as they can. They want to find out as much as they can, because they're not after money. They know the money will come. What is more valuable to them right now than money is this information, this specific information right here. Not all the other information that's out there in the world. When I started this video and I told you that information is valuable, and I said, how valuable? Well, it depends on the information. This is where that goes back to the beginning of the video. This particular information right here that we're just now coming onto and discovering and stuff is very, very valuable, because of the target, because of the wealth of the target, how many targets there are. There's him, the wife, possibly the daughter. He's got a company. The company has employees in it. If we can get into their computer, phone, or whatever, we can branch out, from them and get stuff, going with them. Get another team or another person going with, that person. And you can see how this whole thing starts to bloom all of a sudden. And it starts including other people that weren't even in the discussion. And all the guy originally did was stumble onto this private plane, leaving the United States, going to Dubai. And he got curious on who does this plane belong to? And he researched it, and he go, oh, it belongs to him. Oh wow, he's a billionaire. I was like, why is he going to Dubai? And one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another, and here we are, to the point we are today now in this discussion, where they have all this information going on. It adds up to no good, people, okay? Because this family has no clue this is going on. They have no idea. They could have hacked into the dad's laptop and they got a reverse shell on it, and they can get in there anytime they want, and they find out more stuff and everything, and they don't have a clue of what's happening. They're going on their lives normally, and the laptop has a webcam on it also, so now they're recording in the house, and this is where this all leads. And I think with that, because this was unplanned, like I said, this came up in the chat, you know, on, why don't you talk about hacker stuff and everything? And if, like I said, this video will be up. If I have to, I'll put it up on my own site. I don't know when. Like I said, I'll have to get my site, my blog, semi started so I can put a page and everything up on it and everything. Um, but it will be up, and for a lesser amount of people, because only if it gets taken down, only the people on YouTube that watch this video up until that point will even know this video was here. And after it's down, nobody will know, and no one's going to find my blog because it's not started. It hasn't been indexed. It's not in Google. So that will be a gem in the rough that no one will know about except my YouTube people. Because I'll probably post the video also in my YouTube, until Discord finds it. So I don't whether they'll delete it or not. I don't know. We'll see. Are they, is their AI as smart as YouTube's? We'll put that to the test. And on that note, guys, I guess we'll end it here. I talked about the topic. I showed you guys what I wanted to show you. And to quote, well, now see, I forgot it. Gecko, to quote Gecko, I've showed you guys all the value of information. And that's something for you to ponder on, especially for you people that have daughters and kids, sons. Mainly it's the daughters usually that live their life on social media. You know, the sons, they're into gaming. And that's a whole other thing. You know, the daughter's problem is social media. Your son's problem is gaming. And other than my previous video yesterday, where I talked about game cheats, I'm not getting how this video relates to your daughter's social media and the bad things that can come from it. Your son's gaming also has a path of that same exact way, involving the same people, the traffickers, the human traffickers and sex, but that's a different niche. And so that takes on a different area. It's not social media or anything, but it's a gaming. And that has its own world, with forum boards and chat rooms and Twitch and a whole other stuff. And for those of you that watched the whole video, you just learned a nugget there that was only at the end of the video about the gaming side of this exact same thing, where the social media applies to the daughter. And yeah, sometimes it could apply to, there are males that, get on social media and get involved in that too. But for the most part, I'm talking about, most part is, young girls that live their lives and their friends and everything on social media. And the boys get into gaming and other stuff. Again, a whole area that I haven't even touched on yet. But all of it, and this is why it appeals to terrorists, to human traffickers, to drug dealers, and all the bad people. This is why it appeals to it, because it's all OS intelligence. It's all open source intelligence that's absolutely free. Requires nothing to purchase. You just got to know how to understand and interpret the information you're looking at. Big deal. A private plane leaves the United States and goes to Dubai. It happens all the time. Happens every day, I'm sure. What was so interesting about that one plane that got this guy involved in that? That's the big question mark. That's what that person is good at, and the rest of society doesn't even have a clue about. He's got a different way of looking at things and understanding. You know, what's going on here? You know, do I need to take time to look into it? And it could just be curiosity. He might hit the jackpot, which he did in this scenario, but he might say, okay, at this time, or it could be, this is another thing that I think, I think I'm using my past experiences and stuff that triggers my memories. But this plane, it's left the United States, and let me go back as my time ran out. No, not yet. But let's say it's left the United States and it's on this path right here. Not this. This most planes, if you see where my mouse is going up here, this is the main thoroughfare for flight going from the United States to Europe. And that you can see that right here. The majority of these planes are going like this. And there's some that are going straight across through here. And that's because they're going down into South Africa, the upper parts right here, or they're going over in this area. And that would be the first clue. Like this plane. Now you see how this plane is an NA? This could be an exact same scenario that I could find out information on that pertains to current right now going on. And this, because he could have done this. He's like, because this is the main thoroughfare up here, even for private jets. See right here, here's a private jet, and it's labeled. What is this? Is a Gulfstream 4, a very popular long-range private jet, and we got a serial number on it, and it's not private. You know, it's up here in the main traffic. You know, it's not trying to hide or anything. So that's the first thing that tells you something's amiss. This guy is going across here, means he's going into these other questionable areas over here. And why is it private? He's out of the main foray of traffic and down here. Now, could he also be going to Europe? And he's going this route right here because he doesn't want to be in this crowd and for others to see. And he wants people to think or believe that he's going, you know, somewhere down here when he's actually going up here. Because I could say, oh, you know, he's going down here, you know, whatever. I'm not worried about any business down there. You know, I'm more only focused on anything going on in Europe. So, you know, whoever it is, I'm not worried about it. But the terrorist or the trafficker, he's different. He's I wonder, you know, what's going on with this person? Where is this person going? You know, it's a Gulfstream G500. That says a lot right there, just in the cost of it and what it would cost him to make this flight. We're talking $30,000 to $50,000 to make this flight, and this is by hour, people that I quoted. That's not the total flight. These planes are expensive to own and to rent, but it's a transcontinental flight. You know, it's going over the Atlantic Ocean. So yeah, don't expect it to be cheap, and it's private. You're the only one on the plane, or you know, your family, whoever you're taking along. But this is what would get his attention. And if he's like me and pays for a membership, he could put a tracker on it. And yeah, you know what? Well, see, it would show him the time. See, like these, if I click on one of these, see the time right here? He would know how much longer he has. So this is almost toward the end of it, but he would know he's got some hours still before this plane actually gets over here. And that's only if it's landing in Morocco or Algeria, you know, over here. If it's actually going way over here, you know, to Chad or Sudan, you know, then it's going to take longer, you know, because that's once it gets, you know, to South Africa, then he's got all this other way to go. So he might see that, you know, okay, I've got some hours. You know, I'm not going to sit here, obviously, you know, for hours, you know, waiting for it, watching it, you know, go. I'm just going to put a tracker on it and find out because he's paying. So even if it lands and he misses it, you know, it'll be off the map and everything. He'll be like, oh, it landed. Okay, now I can see where it went. And he can go back in history. He can pull up the history of it, and he can go back in time and find it. He'll make a time. He'll make a note of this exact time. And up here, you know, you can see the GLF5. Now you see, if you have a registration like this one here, you know, this one had a, let me show you. I know I said I was going to end this video, but come on, guys. This is me. I'm going to show you guys real quick how this works. You take that registration. The N at the beginning tells you the country. The N tells you that it's the United States. And the first letter or the first two letters of every registration will tell you the country designation. We'll put that in there, and we get right here. We don't even have to go for, we got other flight tracking and history. You know, since we're on flight radar, let's go to flight aware. And this brings this up. Now you see, this is not the flight we're looking at. This one's going over to the UK. But you see right here what I told you about history. I didn't need, the history here. Now that you do need it because there's different information, but you got a flight history right here. Free. Just tells you the destination, the departure, and when it arrived. And then it tells you, where it goes after that. It went, from here to Munich. Then it left here. Then it went back over to here. Then okay, now it's moving around to different places. So it's not just Munich and here that it goes back and forth from. This is not a scheduled flight. This plane actually gets rented by various different individual, and different locations. Goes to goes to you can see it goes to there a lot. Both over here, destinations over here. I mean arrivals and plenty of destinations also, and it's in there a lot. So you could put this into Obsidian if you want. If you want to put a graph on it. And if you get a big enough history, some of these histories can get long enough, but you can start to see where it goes the most. And again, this is all information. Who's the owner of this plane? BWP Aviation LLC. That's who the owner is. Now we could take this and open that, and now we're getting into business, details. If it's registered to a business, an entity. Um, yeah, not a lot of stuff. Document images. Okay, annual. Ooh, that's interesting. Are they really going to have? When is this? Oh, 2014. Okay, but yeah, they got it. Apparently, they put in PDFs up. That's not a good idea, but um, again, that's getting into the whole thing of information is information. You know, doesn't matter how old it is. There's still value to be gained from it, but you can see how I just showed you how this could go. All because of this plane is halfway there, but just from the route, where did it take off from? Close already. Yeah, I know. My memory's low. Highlight the damn thing. Uh, the map doesn't want to move. There, man, it's slow. Um, did this thing really take off from Vegas? It did. I picked. Oh my God. I I picked that plane out from in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and it took off from Vegas. Oh, how wild is that? That's where I. Come on, scrolling. Yes, we know you're struggling. I've been doing this video too long now. I've got 1.1 gigabytes of RAM left. But anyway, that's funny. But anyway, you guys get the point. I have to go to the take a wee wee, and so we'll end this video here. The wife is laughing, but hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I said, this is gonna be a raw upload. Boom, upload it. No editing. You'll get all my coughs and sneezes and farts and anything else that was in there. But with that, guys, we'll see you next time.